It says I'm live. We'll do a little test here. This is my dude, Salty Cracker. Let's see if you can hear what he says, and then we'll do a little bit of interview here. We'll come back with some. Yeah, so this is live. Here we go.
USAID, Democrat money laundering, got gutted. And they're like,
Joy Reid here got fired. Salty says DEI money got cut off and she was out the door.
oh, okay, well, I guess we could get rid of this chick. Ain't nobody watching this show. There's nobody ever posting clips of this moron on social media unironically. That's how you know that this is a propagandist. Don Lemon, same exact thing. Remember him? Remember the gay black dude who got fired from CNN twice? How is that even possible?
Yeah.
Hey, don't you just scream race? Look at the whole things he could scream. Race? Oh, you're transphobic and homophobic. Like, you just hate gay black. You hate strong gay black. And they still said, we're going to fire you. You suck so bad. We're going to fire you. That's with the USAID money laundering scam in place.
Yeah, they still had everything to keep the DEI in there. So
yeah, once that's gone, well, here. They had that dude in prime time, right? They had him prime time. Then he goes to X, he goes to YouTube. He can't get 4,000 people to watch his show, but he was on prime time. How's that? How's it? That's a gigantic.
It doesn't make sense. The dude's on prime time news, but he can only get 4,000 people to watch him. When my dude right here, Salty, gets, look, he posted the video 2 hours ago, 27,000 views, and people smashing the like button, and only has 800, 1,000 subscribers.
Miscalculation, then, right? It means nobody's watching any of this crap. Nobody's watching Joy Reid. Nobody's watching Don Lemonuts. Nobody's watching these angry white chicks who look like fucking chickens screaming on any of these platforms. These are all number laundering. They're propagandist. They're amplified by the algorithms of fucking network news station. They put out fake numbers at this point. It's all fake. It's all gaslighting. It's all astroturfing. And if they have to do anything on their own, when she goes out and starts doing some stupid shit on her own, some vlog or podcast or whatever it is, ain't nobody going to listen to it. You'll see. It'll have like 2,000 people watching it. Meanwhile, she was in the prime time lineup of a major, what are the MSNBC? They pump billions of dollars into that. That's this corporation over here.
Yeah.
She can't get 2,000 views.
That's an American and do it for free. Everybody wants to do it for free. I'll go work my regular job, and then I'll come back in later and do it for free. I mean, that's what everybody should do. You go do your own job, and then you give back to your country however you can. Give back to your people however you can. See, I like these videos. We have to get into the chat and see what everybody likes. You know what I mean? One day we'll start chatting. Snow and severe weather. Here it comes. Everybody's talking about the snow coming back to West Virginia. That's my dude, First Amendment Protection Agency, FAPA. Shout out to homie. He's going to court today. All right, this is him 3 months ago.
Why is everyone spiraling over unskippable ads? Just download Pi and you'll never have to see another ad again. This Chrome extension takes 5 seconds.
What is going on today, guys? Today we're out here in Cambridge, in the Cambridge, Boston area. going to be going to multiple different towns, so stay tuned for more videos in this area. But we're going to be going around stress testing the First Amendment right today as usual. So stick around. This is a really good area and a lot of nosy people around here. I already know this, so this should be a good one.
It's only broken promises.
Yes, ma'am. Well, you guys, unfortunately, there's no way for me to really show you. That is what it says on the back of my sweatshirt.
Skip through.
I can't hear you.
Oh, there she is.
Through the big windows facing Massachusetts Ave.
Yeah, just don't record into
Well, unfortunately, I'm panning around and getting everything as I see it, and I'm doing a stress test of the First Amendment audit, the First Amendment of the freedom of press today. So unfortunately, I'm going to continue.
Okay, well, there's people's personal information on the bank, so we just ask you
Don't have these big front windows out here facing Main Street.
you don't record into the bank.
Right. Well,
So like, don't record, like, if you're outside, that's one thing, but like coming up through our window or recording inside, we just ask you.
well, unfortunately, I'm not a worker. I'm not going to be going inside your property at all. I'm just staying out here on the public passageway. So.
Right. Just please don't record into the interior of the bank. Is what I'm asking.
I'm kind of confused. I don't understand. What do you mean?
So if you're recording yourself.
I can face to the left. I can face to the right. I just can't face this way into this building. That's not true, lady. You know what I mean? As nice as she's trying to be right now, you know, you can be nice and polite, and you can even be right. It's kind of like makes people nervous, you know?
Yeah.
I just happen to be out here, that's true. But if you're actually putting your camera up to the window into the inside of the bank, we just ask you don't do that, because people's personal information is in there.
Well, if you, I'm glad I found your security flaw for you. If you have people's information facing out to the front of Massachusetts Ave, it looks like I helped solve the security flaw here. So you're welcome. I'm sorry? I'm with the First Amendment Protection Agency. My name's Johnny. Nice to meet you.
All right, so just please don't do that.
I'm going to continue doing that. All right. Have a good one. So apparently, with front story tall facing windows facing Massachusetts and Essex Ave here, apparently you excuse me, man, I'm sorry. I like the sweatshirt.
I know this is a city town, so I don't want people behind the stories
Well, unfortunately, I do believe she's going to be calling the police. You know, I've had a very, very awesome interaction. What's going on, man?
Oh, yeah?
How we doing? You watch YouTube? You watch YouTube?
I gotta be somewhere.
Take a card.
Oh, W Mans, bro. Oh, you're so fucking tough. I inspire to be like you in the near future.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, we fuck with you.
All right. Well, check it out, man.
It was like First Amendment. You know, I think it's a lot of
But
left.
unfortunately, we do have Karen still staring at us. Not sure. I had no idea that the Cambridge police was right across the street. So let's go see if this guy is coming out to talk to us or not. Let's see if we're going to be going to deal with some Cambridge police. he goes.
The police officers right there.
How's it going today? Can I just get you guys' name and badge number just so I know who responded?
Yeah. Kutowski 632.
I'm sorry?
Kutowski 632.
632?
I'm Officer Samir.
Samir.
692.
692. Sweet. So you went in and educated them as to what the rights were? Awesome. You guys have body cams going?
Oh no, we don't have right.
You don't have body cams?
But I gotta go, right?
All right. Yeah. Have a good one. All right. Well, I thought we had the police officers coming for me again. So if you enjoyed the video, if you enjoyed Karen coming out from TD Bank and then asking the police the right questions, and clearly the police handled it the correct way here today, and we applaud them for that, and we thank them for that, even though they were kind of dismissive when they came out to talk to me and I asked them.
Last week, Kash Patel was confirmed to be our new FBI director, and now it looks like he will also be taking over the role as the chief of the ATF, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, and may just shut that worthless agency down altogether. And then...
Yep, but by the way, the ATF is eliminated. What? So we might be able to go get some fully automatics down there at Kmart. Ooh, that'd be nice. Fully automatic 22s. Fully automatic 9mm. Oh, we might get those soon.
Last night, Donald Trump dropped a bombshell announcing that former Secret Service agent and major podcaster Dan Bongino will be the deputy director, the second in command of the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
Everybody's pumped about that.
A man who is also a fan of Little Brian Stelter. This is Bongino after he played a clip of one of my infamous voiceovers of Tater.
Look, Dan Bongino loves Mark Dice. Everybody loves Mark Dice.
Major hat tip to Mark Dice. You saw his Twitter handle at Mark Dice, like rolling dice. Mark.
Look, I ain't even seen this yet. You know what I mean?
With a K at Mark Dice. Follow him. He does videos like that. Of course, is a parody. Those are his words, Stelter's words. Don't get me wrong, but that, of course, is not Costanza's voice. Tell me, Joe, when you saw that, you didn't laugh, right?
Donald Trump also just fired the chairman of...
He talks like Brian Stelter, in the words of Brian Stelter, but makes his voice sound like high-pitched. It says the same thing. Oh, Mark Dice is hilarious.
The Joint Chiefs of Staff, Charles Q. Brown, a DEI hire whose primary mission wasn't to keep the United States safe, it was to get more DEI hires on board and
right.
promote DEI hires into positions of power where they aren't qualified to be.
One of the goals here is actually how do we get more African Americans in position of leadership, in positions of aviation. And that's one of the challenges. And I'll tell you,
it's a challenge, all right, because not many of them are qualified. Because when the core of a certain ethnic group's culture revolves around garbage like this, then obviously they're going to have a lot of problems living in modern society.
I get to do what I do. Baby, I'm focused. Won't fall off like you. They get the love in the crew. I get the money and flip it and make time.
This is the rapper who goes by the name of Dank DeMoss, who is suing Uber or Lyft, one of the rideshare services, because she couldn't fit in the car. The driver was afraid to try to squeeze her in, and so she's suing them for discrimination now. The same woman who appeared on The Breakfast Club, a rap and hip-hop morning show, who had a hard time sitting at the table in a normal chair.
Whoa. What's going on here? What kind of trick they trying to pull on you people? What are they trying to pull on us? Look at this. What are they trying to do to us? Hold on.
And had to, just wait for it.
This the only seat y'all got?
What you want? What you need?
There's one more. A bigger chair or something.
A forklift or something. You need a forklift.
Is she already little?
They literally had to pull up a sofa to the table for her to sit on. And speaking of DEI hires getting fired, in case you missed yesterday's video,
It's just one video right after the next. Did you hear when the fire alarm went beep and I laughed earlier? That was because Mark Dice been tearing that up. Hilarious with the smoke detector in the background.
oh, haven't heard the news. You definitely do need to know that Joyless Reed had her show on MSNBC canceled. But it wasn't just because she spewed anti-whiteism with every breath. The network came to realize that she also is a complete moron.
These two men are both elderly. Donald Trump is an elderly man who, for whatever reason, was given 9 seconds to take a iconic photo op during an active shooter situation. Weird situation. We'll figure that out one day.
She's talking about when he stood up and said, fight, 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 calling that just a photo op.
But his survival of that and bouncing right back and going right to his convention is being conveyed in the media world as a sign of strength.
Just in the media world, it's just a synthetic propaganda campaign to portray Donald Trump as brave. I mean, what's next? Is she going to compare Donald Trump surviving an assassination attempt by just a few millimeters to old Joe surviving COVID despite being quadruple vaxxed? Oh, wait, what's this?
This current president of the United States is 81 years old.
This was obviously during the campaign.
And has COVID. Should he be fine in a couple of days? Doesn't that convey exactly the same thing? That he's strong enough, older than Trump, to have gotten something that used to really be fatal to people his age.
Man, they're just pulling it out of nowhere.
So if he does fine out of it and comes back and is able to do...
Even Jen Psaki's like, this...
Tell him, Mark. Tell him what's about to be happening. This is hilarious.
This woman's crazy.
Isn't that exactly the same? I mean, it's not exactly the same. It's not the same incident, but it's an elderly man coming through out of an illness.
It should.
This might be the dumbest comparison any political commentator has ever made in the history of television. Even Mark Zuckerberg couldn't help but admit the obvious. What anybody with a brain thought after seeing Donald Trump triumphant after that attempt.
Yeah, I mean, seeing Donald Trump get up after getting shot in the face and pump his fist in the air with the American flag is...
Look, he just got a chubby. One of the most badass things I've ever seen in my life. It was like, doom, doom, doom. Trump's like, touched his ear and fell to the ground. And then jumped up and was like, fight, fight, fight. Yeah, photo op. Yeah. Most badass things I've seen in my life. I don't know who this little dude is, but I'm sure he's seen some badass shit.
One of the most badass things I've ever seen in my life.
Yes.
But
what else is badass is Doge sending out an email to all federal employees telling them that they have to respond with at least 5 bullet points describing what it is that they did last week, or else they will be fired.
What would you say you do here?
Now, there is some pushback even from our own side against this. Kash Patel reportedly sent out an email telling people in the FBI to kind of disregard that. So did Tulsi Gabbard, the new head of the Director of Intelligence. But just the idea is fantastic, and it has sent shivers down the spine of the Democrats. At this point, they don't even know what to do to combat the Doge auditors. In fact, there may not be anything that they can do. Here is Hakeem Jeffries.
Winning. This is win after win after win. He just said win, 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 win. I haven't heard Mark Dice talk like this. I bet he's happier than hell. I bet he's so happy.
House Minority Leader. This is the most powerful man in the House on the Democrats' side, now that we are the majority.
I'm trying to figure out what leverage we actually have. What leverage do we have? They control the House, the Senate, and the presidency. It's their government.
Yeah.
What leverage do we have?
None. Well, Democrats and rhinos and the human hippopotamus.
What leverage do we have?
None. Well, Democrats
trying to figure out what leverage we actually have. What leverage do we have? They control the House, the Senate, and the president. Trying to figure out what leverage we actually have. What leverage do we have?
we are the majority.
I'm trying to figure out what leverage we actually have. What leverage do we have? They control the House, the Senate, and the presidency. It's their government.
Yeah. We are the majority.
I'm trying to figure out what leverage we actually have. What leverage do we have? They control the House, the Senate, and the presidency. It's their government.
Yeah.
What leverage do
we are the majority.
I'm trying to figure out what leverage we actually have. What leverage do we have? They control the House, the Senate, and the presidency. It's their government.
Yeah.
What leverage do we have?
None. We are the majority.
I'm trying to figure out what leverage we actually have. What leverage do we have? They control the House, the Senate, and the presidency. It's their government.
Yeah.
What leverage do we have?
None. Well, Democrats and rhinos and the human hippopotamus, Chris Krispy Kreme, who suffers from Trump derangement syndrome, along with obvious heart disease.
I want to start with what Elon Musk did on Saturday, which is order all federal employees to list their accomplishments or basically be fired.
Yes.
Can he do that?
No, he can't. Let's look at it a few ways, Martha. First, from a legal perspective, you have a situation where it is a complete overstep for him to be asking people, what did you do in the last week? And then use that as a basis to evaluate whether someone should be retained or fired. As with everybody's employment, things vary from week to week. And I think that if that went to court with an employee who was fired, if Mr. Musk and his minions didn't find what they did in the last week acceptable, there would be very little, if any, legal basis for them to be able to prevail, meaning the government.
Krispy Kreme just basically admitted what is common knowledge, that many, if not most, federal employees go weeks without doing anything. And of course, many of the cuts that Doge is making and will continue to make is being called racist. Because as NBC News reports, much of the black middle class was built by federal jobs, meaning DEI hires. That may change. So Democrat Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, the ratchet garden tool, is now deciding to side with foreign countries.
The fact that I'm rooting for Canada and I'm rooting for Mexico a lot is really wild, but they are really the ones that are speaking truth to power right now. They can see what it is, and they were like, we are not messing with this crazy regime from Mar-a-Lago, and basically calling them thugs. That's what it is. But I'm like, y'all knew who he was when y'all elected him, so don't act surprised.
Actually, I am surprised at the Trump 2.0 administration, pleasantly surprised, because it's going better than I could have ever imagined. But I can't think of a clever segue into plugging my merch this time. But if you
check out how this app helped me buy whatever I want in my favorite game. Unlimited money makes it so you can get what you want from the game.
My bad, Mark. My bad. I did order his books. If that helps any. Cop steals money. Look, here's a reaction to a reaction. All right, let's cut it here so we can go look and see how it sounds. And then we can adjust again.